Welcome back to the Restaurant Show. I'm so excited to introduce to you. This is Lee Drapp. He's with Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Thank you so much for being with us today.
My pleasure, Jessa. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, you have such a great restaurant. Many of you might know the name. I hope you've been. If you haven't, we're going to tell you a little bit about what they do over in Middleton here. And Lee is the general manager, but you're also the owner.
I am, yes.
So Ruth's Chris is locally owned here in the Madison area. I love that.
Well, we're predominantly owned by the Livesey Company, our local developers, and a famous football coach here in Wisconsin, now currently the athletic director, Barry Alvarez.
Wow, not a bad background there. Great ownership group. So today we're going to talk a little bit about one of your awesome appetizers. So which one is this?
This is the barbecue shrimp.
Okay.
Yes.
And this is an appetizer, or?
Well, it's an appetizer. You can also get it as an entree.
Oh, great.
And when you have it as an entree, it gets fresh garlic mashed potatoes. It's served on top of the mashed potatoes.
All right, so you can decide how hungry you are or if you're with a group. And let's talk a little bit about how this is prepared. So we have a great list of ingredients. We're going to kind of walk through how some of this works.
Yes, absolutely. I'm going to first start out with, you always want to make sure your pan's hot. And I've got the pan going now. And we're going to start with some canola oil. And while that's going, it should warm up pretty quick because we have the pan already hot. But I want to stress to this area right here. This is our barbecue butter. And in the barbecue butter, it's a series of different ingredients. And to make that, it's got cayenne pepper in there, some paprika, black pepper, also some fresh rosemary, Worcestershire sauce, and I think that's it, Tabasco sauce too, yes.
That's incredible. And where does this sauce come from?
Well, it's a Louisiana-based company. Ruth Fertel, who is the founder of Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, did start this original recipe. It's been very popular since 1965.
Excellent.
Yes.
Well, since we're on the topic, I do find this to be, you go ahead and get going, but I do find this to be an interesting story that I would love to share with viewers as you get your shrimp going. So if you have ever wondered how the name Ruth's Chris came about, I certainly did. It's a unique story. Share a little bit.
Oh, thanks, yes. So we got 1620 shrimps in here, very hot. You want to cook them on one side, and then we're going to flip them on over as well.
Perfect.
Ruth Fertel in 1965 was a mother of 2 children, very educated, very smart lady, went to Tulane University, and she had gotten a divorce, unfortunately, and wanted to make ends meet a little bit better for her family. She bought an existing restaurant from a gentleman named Chris. Had great success, never been in the business. And 2 years later, it burnt down, unfortunately, and they reestablished it just down the road in less than 8 days. When she was ready to open the restaurant up, the lawyer said, "Wait a minute, Ruth, you can't call it Chris's Steakhouse because the contract said only at that location." So she said, well, in a frenzy there, everybody knows I own it, I'll just put my name in front of it, and she called it Ruth's Chris Steakhouse.
I love that story.
That's awesome.
Well, and it's, really showing some success in the face of adversity after, a couple of tough things that she's gone through. Now look at this restaurant.
Yeah, and when you talk about adversity, they had a huge hurricane and the whole city was destroyed, not Katrina, but a long time ago. And she had all this meat in the cooler, and really part of her legend was she took all that meat and went to the people that were helping in the community and helped them as well and fed them all. And that's really where she established her name.
I love that. That's incredible.
Thank you.
So lots of things that you guys do. What an incredible menu if you haven't had the opportunity to look. But you also do a really nice happy hour.
We got the best happy hour in town, I believe. We call it's a tongue twister like the name Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, but we call it Sizzle, Swizzle, Swirl.
Sizzle, Swizzle, Swirl. I just like the name.
Happy hour.
That's great. And we have a mutual friend, we're going to say hi out there, but we won't tell you who she is, that loves your happy hour because of the menu. And so if you don't want to go for dinner, you guys have some really nicely priced happy hour food items.
Yeah, and that's a great point. They're
Yeah.
nicely priced, and you know what, the experience isn't as long as well. We've got a great bar. It's a horseshoe-shaped bar. As I shared about Barry Alvarez, a lot of his memorabilia is in there as well. And the happy hour, Sizzle, Swizzle, Swirl, offers appetizers and drinks at the $9 price point.
That's awesome. Yeah. So yeah, what a great way to enjoy Ruth's Chris for a nice $9 price point. Other things that you might not know, They do have a children's menu. You might not even think of bringing your kids to Ruth Chris. It wouldn't be the first thing on my mind, but you do have a kids menu, so it's family friendly.
Absolutely.
And for those of you out there who are concerned about gluten-free,
we have that available too.
Yeah, really
I mean,
nice.
the steak is very gluten, and we serve the best money can buy.
Yeah.
But we have other
No
things,
kidding.
side dishes, desserts, salads as well. Sometimes you have to eliminate things like a crouton or something of that nature, but that's just sacrifice of being gluten-free.
You got it. You got it. I also saw that you do a Wednesday night date night.
Wednesday night date night,
incredible.
yeah. It's dinner for two, $74.95. It includes salad, appetizer, entree, and dessert as well.
Excellent.
So Jess, I've got these shrimp here. I turned them over.
Okay.
I cooked them on one side, cooked them on the other. They're getting pretty done. You don't want your shrimp to be too cooked, but see how you have that golden brown on there. So that's nice. And then we turn it over a little bit. And we're going to add some white wine. Okay. Now this is 1 ounce of white wine. And you can see it's kind of bubbling there. What you want to do is you want to get that flavor, of course, involved with the shrimp, but also have it reduce a little bit to actually have a little more of that harder consistency to it.
Smelling incredible in here. I wish you at home could smell this.
Well, you'll get to taste it soon.
Perfect.
And those who are viewing can maybe come down and visit us. Putting some green onions in here too, just to add to that flavor.
Perfect.
Okay, we talked about that garlic butter.
A little bit of color.
We're almost there. One thing I didn't mention is this is it's a large crouton. We call it a toast point as well. But we do put a little of that garlic butter on there and put it in the oven at 350 degrees for about 3 minutes. And it's a great little teaser to an already awesome dish. So I'm going to kind of put these on the plate here. I'll put them in the back a little bit, okay?
That sounds good. And as you're putting the finishing touches on, I want to remind people, since it's so nice out, finally, here in Wisconsin, you have a new patio?
Oh, thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah.
The patio, we just had a new renovation. We had it in the back, but there was a lot of traffic, and this wasn't accessible, so now we've got it right in the front, right off the bar. Very, very nice. Connects right to the bar. There's a fire pit out there.
Oh,
it's just amazing. It really is. And you can get the Ruth Sour out there, the happy hour, as well.
So what a great spot to have an outdoor happy hour.
Now that happy hour that we talked about is every day of the week. So it's even on the weekends, and it's from 4 to 7 o'clock. So it's a little later of a happy hour than most.
Sure is.
As well.
Yeah, that's really nice to know. 4 to 7. That's a generous time period. And typically you guys open at 4, dinner is at 5.
Correct.
And Sundays you do a little bit earlier, dinner at 4 o'clock.
Yep,
so.
that is correct. And on Fridays, it's really awesome, especially on the right day of the patio. We open that patio doors up where it all connects because it's just a big opening wall. But we have live music every day on Fridays from 6 to 9. So it's it's free of charge, and you get happy hour, and and that's why I say it's the best, to be honest with you.
No kidding. Wow. Well, what else can you ask for? Live music, happy hour, and you get to say swizzle, swizzle, and swirl. If you can say it. I can barely do it.
You did good. It's a tongue twister for certain.
It kind of is.
Okay, we're kind of wrapping this up here a little bit. So I've got the shrimp right here, okay? And I made a double batch because I know our cameraman's going to want to try some as well.
There you go.
Yep.
Keeping us well fed.
Okay, so I'm just going to get a little fancy with the look a little bit, right? I'm going to put those shrimp down. And it's on a bigger plate, so. And I like keeping the tail on. These are 16-20 shrimp, which means 16 to 20 equal a pound. I do like a little bit of a larger size shrimp. And of course you can eat even much larger than that as well. These are the shrimp. And then you take that garlic butter that you have right there, right? Put that around. We're going to put this crouton here.
The presentation is just flawless. I love that part.
You're very kind. Okay, and then we'll just kind of pour that over that, right?
Oh my gosh.
And we'll put a little bit on that crouton.
Oh yeah, you don't want to forget that guy.
It's kind of like a sponge.
Right, like a little sauce slide for you.
Oh gosh, I went over a little bit. That's the best part of it all. Beautiful. And then just a little bit of parsley too, okay?
Finish it off.
Wipe that up a little bit, right? Every picture has a frame, and Ruth Chris is no different to that.
Yeah, that's great.
There we go.
We'll spin it around so you can see it at home. I do have to head to break, but Lee, it's been such a pleasure. Thank you so much. We've got a lot to eat on commercial break, don't we, Brennan? Thanks so much. Lee Drapp again with Ruth Chris Steakhouse over on Deming Way in Middleton. You're watching The Restaurant Show. We'll be right back after the break.